fish.
We're looking for a baby fish.
This is really tiny.
I know, there's some little tiny ones in here. I'm not sure. Come over this way.
Shine on that big fish.
Ooh, that's cool. That's so cool.
Oh, you see that baby one over there?
I saw a tiny one. I really saw a tiny one.
We're looking right here. So you can see it. I got you.
I see it.
Little tiny one.
So cute.
I got you, don't worry.
The rocks.
Sure.
I do bam. Fun.
What do you think of that flashlight?
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Let's go. I took a shortcut. This thing's awesome. How did they get the cool flashlight? No, please.
How's it going, guys? Coming at you with a review / comparison of these two lights right here. We have the Thrunite TN4A, and then we have the Nitecore EA41. Both of these lights are cool and unique in that they are ultra high-end performers, but they take the common AA batteries, probably the most common batteries on the planet. And so these lights kind of fill the void for those of you guys out there that want the high-end performance but don't want to have to mess around with more exotic batteries. For instance, we have the Thrunite TN12. This is my EDC light, probably my favorite light ever. And this one takes and runs off of these lithium batteries, these CR123As, and they are expensive. They're not really as hard to find anymore. I think you can even get them at Walmart now, but it used to be that they were a lot more difficult to find. But they still are very, very expensive. And for those of you guys that want to veer away from the usage of those exotic batteries, but still want the performance of something like this, these are great lights for this. The role or the philosophy that I really put these lights in is that of a utilitarian role. Because of their size, they're not really an EDC light. You could use them that way if you'd really like to, but they're more like throw them in your utility drawer in your house and have a really, really high performing and adequate light for pretty much any need. There also would be a great vehicle light, and they would also serve really, really well as like a camping light and as a search and rescue light. In fact, both of these are very adequate throwers. This one primarily is more of a thrower. This has a little bit more versatile beam, and we'll show you that as we look at the beams themselves. But yeah, they're both really, really good throwers, and they would be really good for search and rescue. Both of these lights their form and function, they're both kind of squat, and that is mainly because they're utilizing 4 AA batteries. So let's go ahead and open up this Thrunite, and we'll show you what looks like on the inside. As you can see, the Thrunite utilizes this little caddy that the AA's go into, and it has these contacts that are universal, so you don't have to really orientate it at all or anything. They slips right in, and as you can see, that's what the inside of the light looks like. These have the squared off threads. Hopefully you guys can see that, and the O-ring there with the silicone. So this one, they're both waterproof. Okay, this one goes to 1.5 meters. The Nitecore, I believe, goes to 2 meters for a half hour, something like that. But they're both IPX8 certified. But yeah, so they're both kind of these little squat little lights, but I think actually for what they are, they're really nice in hand. Both of them feel really, really good. I don't really have a problem with their size. It's actually kind of a neat little size factor. But both of these things really perform well. This TN4A, I believe, is the cool white one. Yes, this one's the cool white. And this thing puts out 1150 lumens on its high end. That's incredible. That's a lot of light. The TN12 puts out 1050. Now this one here is the neutral white. Okay, the neutral white puts out 1050 as well. So it matches the TN12. It's a different LED. This one has the XPL V6, and this one has the XML2 V2 3C LED. This one has the XML2 as well. So these two are the exact same. So this one puts out 1150. The Nitecore, its top end is 1020. So this one puts out 1020 lums on its high end. So not only does it go super, super bright, but what it also does is goes super, super dim. So this one right here is 0.5 lumens, okay? So that's a lot. So we're talking this thing can shine as low as 0.5 lumens and can go as high as 1150. And you can actually feel the heat coming off of this light when you crank it up. So talk about range for this LED. Talk about amazing efficiency and range. Now, with that 0.5 lumens, this thing with 4 AA batteries, okay, you ready for this? Will shine for up to 80 days. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. 80 days. Okay, so we're talking that's 1,920 hours that you can utilize this light on that moonlight mode is what they call it. 0.5 lumens. That's crazy. And the neutral white will actually shine at 0.38 lumens for 80 days. Now, yeah, I know that it's only 0.5 lumens and 0.38 lumens. However, that's usable light, guys. Okay, that is not light that is so dim you can't use it. Now, in a bright room or on a shiny sunny day or something like that, and you have to look in a crevice, it's not going to be enough light, okay? But if you're out at night and there's very little light pollution around, it's enough to guide you on the trail, okay? It's enough to see your pathway. And if you were going to utilize this as a poop hits the fan light or something like that, it'd be really, really good, because you can utilize those common AA batteries, but you have something that's going to last an incredibly long time, but also have incredibly good performance when it's needed. All right, now if we take a look at the Nitecore, the EA41, okay, this one has its lowest setting is 1 lumen, so it's twice as bright as the lowest setting on the TN4A. But again, 1 lumen is very little light, but still adequate light to be utilized in a lot of different tasks. So that's really, really awesome that it can go down to 1 lumen. It'll stay at 1 lumen for 400 hours. That is a long, long time. That is 16 days. Okay, so it's not 80 days like you get out of the Thrunite, but that's still a long, long time. Now, at 1 lumen, it'll go all the way up to 1,020 lums, and it'll stay at 1,020 lums for 105 minutes. So it's roughly an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, so it'll run on its highest setting for an hour and 45, which is really, really good. Okay, now the Nitecore has 5 settings. We have the lowest mode, which is that 1 lumen. Then we go up 1 to low, which is 50 lums. We go to medium, which is 160 lums. We go to high, which is 580 lums. Man, you can start to feel the heat on that one. And then you go to turbo, which is 1,020 lums, which is an incredible amount of light, and it's starting to heat my hand up, right? So yeah, it's got a lot of power, and you get those 5 brightness settings. It also has some special modes. So it has those 5 brightness setting modes, but it also has a special mode. If you click and hold the mode button, you go to strobe, okay? And then if you click and hold it again, you get what's called a beacon or location, which I think is actually pretty cool. It acts like a little tiny strobe beacon. It's pretty crazy, actually. It's crazy, crazy bright, as you can see. So you have the location mode, but then you also have, if you press and hold again, you have an SOS. Whoa, geez, I shined that in my eye. Holy crap. You have an SOS mode as well. So you click and hold to get into those modes. And once you're done with that, then you can click back out. Alright, so how you operate the Nitecore is you have the power button here, and then you have your mode button up front. If you press the mode button once while it's off, it gives you some blinking patterns. If it blinks 3 times, your battery level is above 50%. If it blinks twice, it's below 50%. And if it blinks just once, then it's really, really low and it probably needs changed out. But how you work the Nitecore is you turn it on, and then the mode button will cycle through the levels of brightness, right? And if you click and hold, you go to strobe, and if you click and hold it again while it's in strobe, you go to that beacon mode, and then if you click and hold again, you go to SOS. And that's essentially it. That's the Nitecore's interface. Pretty simple. I actually kind of like the interface on the Nitecore a little bit better than I do on the Thrunite. However, other people that have had test the light say that they actually like the Thrunite's system better. So it's kind of up in the air as to how it works. So let's go ahead and show you the rundown with the TN4A. The TN4A, your lowest setting, again, is that moonlight mode at a half lume, okay? And then if you click and hold, you go up to your low setting, okay? That is 15 looms roughly for both of these lights. And then your medium mode is about 139 looms, okay? Now, how to cycle through low, medium, and high is when the light is on. Okay, so if the light is on and we click and hold, that's our low setting. Now if we click and hold it again, we're going to go cycle through the 3 different modes. So as we hold it, you get low, medium, high, low, medium, high. So high, we're looking at 550 looms for the cool white and 577 for the neutral white version of this light. And then if we double click, okay, oops. Yeah, if we double click, now we're at 1150 looms for this light, and for the neutral white, we're at 1050 looms. Okay, so to double click, you go right into the high mode. If you double click again, you get the strobe. So that's essentially the interface there for the TN4A. So if we compare the performance of these 2 lights in their brightness settings, we get a brighter bright with the Thrunite and a lower low with the Thrunite. We also get, I think, a little bit more usable range. And what I mean by that is this one has that 1 lumen setting, which is fantastic. It's very low. I really, really like that. But when you go from your low setting, okay, which is 1 lume, you click it up to your low, all right, and that's right up to 50 lumens. And you guys aren't seeing this on camera, but if you were to use 50 looms close in, it's almost a little bit too much to be utilizing in a close-in environment. So if I was to read, here's the Nitecore instructions, right? If I was to read these instructions, it kind of gets a little bit too bright for me this close up, okay? So I don't really like the fact that it goes from 1 to 50 lumens. So if we look at the Thrunite, we have that little itty bitty amount of light there, which is the low light, which is great for reading a map or something where you want to preserve your night vision, right? But then if you kick it up to low, you're only at 15 lumens for the cool white and 17 lumens for the neutral white. So that is, I think, the perfect amount of EDC light. Okay, I know this isn't an EDC flashlight, but if you are looking and doing tasks that are close in, and like if I'm examining a bullet, for instance, okay. So I wanted to examine a bullet kind of close up to my eyes, okay? If I was to use 50 looms, it would actually bleach my retinas out. It'd be too bright. But 15 looms is perfect for a close-in utility task, okay? So that's what I really like about the Thrunite, is that it has a little bit better range than the Nitecore itself. So again, we've got one loom versus half a lumen, and then we have 15 looms for the low and 50 looms for their low. And then if we go up to the middle range, we're looking at 160 for the Nitecore and 139 for the Thrunite. So essentially they're a draw in the medium mode. High mode, they're both right around 580, 570, something like that in their high modes. And then turbos, they're all within about 1,000 looms of each other. So the cool white being 1150, the neutral light being 1050, and then the Nitecore being 1020. So again, you're getting high performance from both of these things. Once you're past 1,000 looms, it's really bright. But when it comes to range spectrum as well as usability of that range, I think the Thrunite takes the point away from the Nitecore on that one. Alright, so now when it comes to beam pattern, as you can see on the Nitecore, it has a smooth reflector. And as you can see on the Thrunite, it has more of an orange peel style reflector. This one actually has a very deep reflector compared to the Thrunite. And these are both really designed to be throwers. And I've got to say that the Nitecore actually performs its job as a thrower better. The Thrunite has a really good throw beam, but it also has a little bit better peripheral spill beam as well. So I actually think that the Thrunite has a better, more usable beam pattern than the actual Nitecore. Nitecore's a great thrower, but it has very little spill, and its spill is actually quite a bit more narrow than the Thrunite. So the Thrunite has a lot more spill pattern, but still manages to kick out some light at a really far distance. So I've got to say, if I'm comparing their beam patterns, they're both spot beams, they're both throwers, but this one has just a little bit better, more versatile beam pattern than the Nitecore. It gives you just a little bit more peripheral illumination, gives you a little bit more spill, and I think that I would give the point to the Thrunite just in that alone. Alright, so now if we're talking physical size of the light, let's line them up here. As you can see, the Nitecore is just a tad bit longer. However, if we line them up from a width point of view, you can see that the Nitecore is actually fairly bit thinner than the Thrunite. So actually, compared to the two together, I have to give size factor to the Nitecore itself. It is a little bit smaller. It feels just a tad bit smaller in the hand. It doesn't. The Thrunite by far does not feel bad in the hand. It's actually, I've got small to medium size hands, and they both feel really good. But I do like that the Nitecore is a tad bit thinner. Overall, lengthwise though, because of this little thing on the tail cap, the Nitecore is a little bit longer overall. Alright, when it comes to features though, they're both IPX8 certified waterproof. This one's 2 meters, this one's 1.5 meters for what I believe is about a half hour, okay, 30 minutes. So they're both waterproof, IPX8 certified. They both have temperature control and voltage control protection. I think if the LED reaches over 80 degrees Celsius, then they'll actually dim themselves up to preserve that LED. So that's important. They're both temperature regulated, and they're both polarity controlled as well. If we're looking at lanyards, I'm thinking you guys can probably see some similarities between the two. Literally, they are exactly the same lanyard. They both attach the same way. They're probably made by the same company and just licensed out to the two different companies because they are the exact same lanyards. The Lanyard Connection on the Thrunite is better. It is off to the side, and so you don't disrupt the ability for it to stand on its tail, whereas the Nitecore is kind of on the bottom here, and as you can see, it kind of protrudes, and that makes it so it's a little bit more wobbly. It can still tail stand, but the lanyard does interfere with the ability for its ability to tail stand a bit. They both come with holsters. If we look at the Nitecore, you can see it is Velcro. Definitely a decent holster for sure. It has a little thing on the back here. You can attach it to a belt, and you can also probably try to attach it to MOLLE. I think that's the purpose of that Velcro right there. And it has your D-ring here at the top. So, you know, nothing super spectacular, but not bad at all. The Thrunite has something very, very similar. It does feel a little bit more solid to me. For some reason, the Thrunite just seems like it's a little bit better built. But it has the D-ring at the top, and again, it has the Velcro with the belt loop. So they're pretty much essentially the exact same holster. It does seem to me, though, that the Thrunite is built just a tad bit better than the Nitecore. All right, so packaging-wise, the Thrunite comes in these nice little boxes. They're actually pretty robust. It comes with an instruction manual right here. It comes with also a lanyard. It comes with a replacement clicky cap cover dill thing there, and it also comes with 2 spare O-rings, which is good because I've already gone through one of the O-rings on the Thrunites, just opening and closing it. I shredded one of them. But what I want to say, though, that when it comes to packaging, the Thrunite really does a really good job with their packaging. You can definitely keep this box, use it for like ammunition carry, for like going to the range or something like that. It is really actually a good box. So it's something that you could definitely keep around and utilize in more than just you know, keeping your Thrunite in. It has actually a really nice box. On the flip side to that, you have the Nitecore, which is pretty much just a chintzy little throwaway box. It comes in these black packages here. What it comes with, though, is it comes with its lanyard, which is already attached to it, okay? Has a spare O-ring, and it comes with this diffuser, which is actually kind of nice. All right, so if we check this diffuser out, we'll turn the light on. You can see that it's a very hot spot, but if you put the diffuser in, you can see that it really softens it up. So again, I was talking about how the actual Nitecore is just too bright when you're using close in. Here's at the 1 lume setting. If you go to the 50 lume setting, it actually softens it up enough to where you could probably utilize this light close in without it being a detriment to your eyes. But again, that's with a diffuser that is not attached to the flashlight. I think if you're including this in a kit, I think it's great, but are you going to carry the diffuser with the flashlight all the time? Probably not. So it's cool, but I don't know how actually effective and usable it is in a real world practicality. All in all, guys, some final thoughts on both of these lights. I'll give you a little pros and cons list. You know, really the strengths of the Nitecore, I feel, is that it's a little bit better size factor. So its form factor is a little bit smaller, maybe a tad bit more ergonomic than the Thrunite, but not a ton. But I do think that it does take a point away from the Thrunite on that. I also feel like the interface is a little bit better for me. Now, that being said, one of my good friends, he was playing around with both these lights for a day, and he really likes the interface on the Thrunite better. And so I think it's kind of subjective, but I really feel like the Nitecore takes 1 point away from the Thrunite when it comes to interface. The other strength of the Nitecore is that it is a better throw light. It is a very concentric beam, and it shines out quite a bit better at distance. So if you're looking for sheer distance out of these two lights, the Nitecore definitely takes the throw pattern. So that's its strength. Okay, so those are the things that I think the Nitecore does well. Now, the Thrunite, okay, the TN4A. I feel that it is a better overall versatile beam. Okay, I think that it throws really well. However, it also gives you adequate peripheral flood as well, which I think is just a bit more versatile than the Nitecore. So I would say that this has a better beam overall in its versatility. I also think that the Thrunite has a better range of brightness. It goes lower, it has a lower low and a higher high. And so I think that when it comes to brightness levels, I think the Thrunite takes it as well. It also takes it in its runtime. So again, at that moonlight mode, we are getting 80 hours worth of light. That's incredible. That is really, really, really incredible. And that makes this light a great light for, like, you know, a 72-hour kit or something like that. But that for utility purposes, that is a long-lasting light. It also, I really like how they've spaced the low, medium, high, and turbos out. Again, that low being 15 looms for me is a bit more usable for close-in tasks than the Nitecore. Another thing that we have to consider is the cost of these two lights. So the Thrunite is $49.95 right now on Amazon, and the Nitecore EA41 is $57.95, I think. Yeah, so roughly what I've been seeing is that the Thrunite's running right around $50 and the Nitecore is running right around $58. So we're looking at like an $8 difference, the Nitecore being a little bit more expensive. So, you know, all things considered, guys, if you consider the value, the cost versus the, you know, function and performance of these two lights, I've really got to say that I probably would give the competition to the Thrunite. I think that it's a little bit better value. You know, it's $8 cheaper, but you get you get a dimmer dim and a brighter bright. You also get a better overall usability in its brightness settings, and I think that just overall, I think it's just a little bit better light. You know, they're both really, really great lights. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. But if I had to give the competition to one, I'd definitely say the Thrunite is the winner. So anyway, guys, there you go, a comparison between these two great lights. If you have any questions or comments about anything you've seen in the video, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video if you do like what you see, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this in the future. Also, if you really want to follow me outside of YouTube, Instagram is really the best place to go for more information and up-to-date stuff before you usually see it on YouTube. So anyway, guys, there you have it. Thanks very, very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.